Hello friends, and welcome back. Today we are breaking down a heavy-duty SMPS that gives fully adjustable output of 3 volts to 14 volts, and current limit from 1 ampere up to 10 amperes. The idea was requested by Mr. Laddie Gorg. Let us start with the master PWM controller stage using IC SG3525. Look at pin 5 and pin 6 of the SG3525 chip. We have a 2.2 nanofarad timing capacitor and a 6.2 kilo ohm resistor in series with a 5 kilo multi-turn trim pot. This lets us dial the internal clock to exactly 100 kHz. Since the outputs alternate, our main transformer primary switches at a stable 50 kHz. Look closely at pin 2 and pin 9. They are shorted together with a direct jumper wire. This disables the internal error amplifier by turning it into a unit-to-gain follower. This stops the chip from fighting our external controls, allowing us to feed our custom tuning signal directly into pin 1. Pin 8 uses a 4.7 microfarad electrolytic capacitor. When you flip the power switch, this capacitor charges slowly, gradually opening up the pulse width modulation duty cycle from 0% to prevent massive inrush currents. Pin 10 is the internal shutdown pin. Since our new emergency latch connects directly to the gate drivers instead, pin 10 is tied directly to the clean analog ground plane to block stray electromagnetic noise. Next, let us move to the adjustable voltage and current stage. It uses a single LM324 quad operational amplifier chip to handle the voltage and current tracking loops seamlessly. Look at the bottom left of this stage. We monitor the return current using a tiny 0.0005 ohm sensing resistor, labeled RS. The first stage of the LM324 uses a pair of 100 ohm resistors and two 22 kilo ohm feedback resistors to create a differential amplifier with a gain of 220. At 10 amperes of load, pin 1 outputs exactly 1.1 volts. Pin 10 receives a setting from your front panel 10 kilo ohm current preset pot, which is restricted to a maximum of 1.1 volts. Pin 9 reads the live signal from our shunt amp. If the load tries to cross your limit, output pin 8 swings high, pushing current through a 4148 diode to pinch the pulse width modulation via pin 1 of the SG3525. Pin 5 connects to your 10 kilo ohm voltage adjust pot, sweeping from 0 to 5.1 volts. Pin 6 reads the scale-down output voltage through the 10 kilo ohm fixed resistor and the 10 kilo ohm calibration trim pot. Output pin 7 runs through another 4148 diode to manage the master tracking line. Look at the top left op-amp stage of this block. This is our ultra-fast electronic latch. Inverting pin 13 sits at a fixed 1.32 volts reference, which equals a 12 amperes hazard limit. Non-inverting pin 12 reads our shunt telemetry through a 10 kilo ohm resistor and uses a 100 kilo ohm positive feedback resistor tied to output pin 14. The instant a short circuit hits, pin 14 rockets high and locks itself permanently, blasting a shutdown command to the gate drivers until you cycle the power. Next, let us look at the high-power full H-bridge execution stage. This section takes our low-voltage control signals and steps them up to drive the main transformer primary. We use 4 heavy-duty N-channel MOSFETs, labeled Q1 through Q4. They switch the high-voltage rectified DC bus, which sits around 310 volts to 325 volts, directly across the primary winding of our high-frequency ferrite transformer. We use 2 IR2110 gate driver chips. Pin 9 receives a stable plus 5.1 volts from pin 16 of the SG3525, which sets the input threshold to match 5-volt logic levels perfectly. Pin 3 takes our 12-volt auxiliary rail to power the internal low-side drive circuits. Driving the high-side switches requires a voltage higher than the main power rail. Look at pin 6, pin 5, and pin 7 of the driver. We use a 4007 fast recovery diode and a 22 microfarad capacitor on each driver. When the low-side switch fires, the VS pin gets pulled to ground, and the capacitor charges up to 12 volts. When the high-side switch fires, the capacitor floats up to provide the full gate-to-source voltage needed to saturate the upper MOSFET. Every MOSFET gate uses a 150 ohm resistor, labeled R1, R2, R5, and R6, in parallel with a 4007 diode. This controls the turn-on speed to prevent parasitic ringing while pulling the gate down to ground instantly for an ultra-fast turn-off profile. Look at pin 11 on both IR2110 drivers. These are the independent shutdown pins. They are held low by individual 10 kilo-ohm ground resistors. The moment our electronic latch on the LM324 trips, it sends a high signal through two separate 4148 isolation diodes directly to these two pin 11 tracks. This kills the gate drives in less than 2 microseconds, saving your power switches from destruction. Now let's understand the transformer details. The primary winding consists of 88 turns of a single strand of 24 AWG magnet wire, measuring 0.51 mm in diameter, or 25 AWG wire measuring 0.45 mm in diameter. The secondary side utilizes a center-tapped topology, consisting of 6 turns plus 6 turns of copper, using 4 parallel strands of 22 AWG wire grouped flat like a ribbon, each individual strand measuring 0.64 mm in diameter. For the magnetic core framework, we are using an EE35 or an ETD39 size ferrite core made of high permeability PC40 MnZn material, assembled with a 0 mm air gap. Right after the output rectifier diodes, the low-pass LC filter stage smooths the output. The smoothing inductor, labeled L, is wound with 26 turns of 3 parallel strands of 20 AWG magnet wire, each having diameter of 1 mm, wound around AT106-26 yellow and white iron powder toroid ring. For the capacitor, use 2200 microfarads, by paralleling two low ESR electrolytic capacitors of either 1000 microfarads or 1200 microfarads each, rated for 25V or 35V. Add one small 0.1 microfarad ceramic capacitor is connected directly across your positive and negative output terminal blocks to remove high-frequency noise. So, that's it friends. I hope you like this tutorial on 14V 10 amp, adjustable voltage and current SMPS circuit. Thanks for watching.